what you've been for 12 years, you're not. Starting tomorrow, Sunday, you wake up and you make breakfast and your life as you know it is different.
I would never suggest a band work like they do, because they're a true, I wouldn't even say a true democracy. Any band member has veto power all the time. So one thing that's cool about the records in general, everything on all of their records, everybody's in the band is down with, which is not common.
And it's like if the art would be hindered by a decision, even if there's money on the table or there's fans at stake, art wins over everyone. Art wins over band members. Like the art lives before everything else.
There was always something to overcome. It seems like as soon as we would get in a stride, something would come up.
Because like I just get in a spot where art's art and making money at art is weird because you have to like compromise something at some point if you want to keep making money.
It's almost impossible.
It is.
It's just art.
It is, and we did it. Like we made our biggest record is the record that we gave middle fingers to everyone. We told the label, we're not listening to you. We fired a producer. Like we did everything. Like if we didn't feel it, it wasn't happening, and we put it out, and it was our biggest record. You could drag this breaking up thing out for a year. Like you could do shows on every continent, you could do a world tour. You could have a year's worth of work just off of the headline of like the last Underoath show in X town. Once you get past the money that you're leaving on the table and you actually look at like the last 12 shows, it's like perfect. You know, we're just ending where we started and it's full circle and it's done and that's all it is.
We should be playing 40 more shows, you know? The kids will be there, guarantee it. Our fans are die hard because I think they appreciated how hard Underoath worked. I think kids can see it when, you know, we cared and we were out there for them.
When they were working on They're Only Chasing Safety, they were I think they were conscious that what they were doing was a special thing, that what they were doing was a unique thing. I mean, they defined this thing, this style, and it's just it's just awesome. I got to work with a band that's like the best at what they do. Not a lot of guys get to work with whatever band defines a genre.
Seemingly, we can't catch basic flight. It's a prison ship.
All the time.
So when we first started, I had the only cell phone in the band, and everyone used my cell phone to talk to their girlfriends. And it's funny because my parents had set aside like a college, not a big, like a small college fund for me for when I got out, and obviously that wasn't going to happen, so they're just like, you know, use it for whatever you want to do, which is awesome, super supportive. But I got gear with it, but then I remember a large chunk of it went to like paying rent and like huge cell phone bills, because back then it was like if you make a call outside of state, it's going to be like $50. You know how it was back then.
I think the times as a band off stage were always funner then too, because just dumb stuff to be driving down the highway in a van with a bunch of firecrackers and taking out the money safe, opening it up, and putting every firecracker in the van into the safe, just driving down the highway. And then it's like, oh wait, but Chris has got to keep driving, so how are we going to keep the smoke away from Chris so he can see while we're driving and lighting off fireworks? Oh, we'll just put this blanket around it. And then just setting the whole money safe full of fireworks off, and just all of us like undercovers ducking bottle rockets shooting out all over the van, stuff burning, people like getting shot and yelling. And then, like, kind of peering out over the blanket, everything's engulfed in smoke. Chris has the window down. We're driving down the highway. Smoke is just pouring out all behind us, and just absolutely stupid things like that. So, to be young.
That sounds awesome.
It was ridiculous.
You want to probably spend a little time to play here.
The whole day I was in a hotel room. I only woke up to like throw up. And then the next show I played in New Orleans, like on a microphone stand. Like I couldn't even stand up. Which is probably what's going to happen tonight. But I'm kind of standing now.
Underoath is instrumental in like what it is we do and what it is all these bands do. Like they paved such an open road. I mean, the spectrum of this band is so wide and so vast because they integrated all these types of music and made them palatable, you know, for like so many different types of people, from us being, you know, what we thought were like the underground, like alternative, you know, have-nots, to kids that were well off listening to fucking whatever was cool at the time, like I don't know, Sum 41 or whatever the fuck, whatever was on the radio, you know. This band like brought us, it sounds so cliche, like brought so many people together. And so they went off of being that band and having that esteem, and they did so many amazing things from They're Only Chasing Safety on. You know, they just kept getting better and better and better, refining themselves and reinventing themselves. And that's what it is to be a band. It's like reinvent yourself, I think. You know, if you're going to be a true, you know, if you're going to make a work of art, it's particular, it's single, you made that work of art, but you don't do it again. You know, you either better it or you do something different and you make another work of art. And that's what they did. They just kept doing new things in this realm. So when we talked about getting on this tour, it was crazy because for us it's full circle. For them, they've had so much time to do everything they've done and meet the people they met. But for us it's full circle. We did that first tour with them in 2011 after Disambiguation, and we didn't really know what they were doing as a band at that point. And then we got to know them and them as people and them as artists, and almost like an overwhelming sense of being humble. Like they're just so down to earth, yet so talented, yet. And now we're here on this tour, and they're saying goodbye. And the first thing in my head, and what I said to Grant and Chris and Tim, because they're the ones I spoke with about this tour first, I was like, you can't leave yet.
Somebody asked me the other day if we could pass the torch to anybody, who would it be? And that was a huge question, and I've been thinking about it a lot lately. Yeah, I never really thought about that. They're like, if you could take what you guys have and pass that on to somebody, who would it be? Like, as far as just like, I don't know what that thing would be, but they're just like, what Underoath has, hand that off to another band, who would it be? So, yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot, and I really don't know. It's a crazy question to think about. maybe that's something you could ask some of the other dudes or me if I can come up with an answer. But
one of our first big shows, or what I felt was our first big show, we were playing with a band called Spitfire, Between the Buried and Me, Norma Jean, Beloved, and Underoath in Alabama. And we had just got signed to Tooth and Nail, and we were doing a 5-day tour, and the whole tour was a bust. And on the last day, we were playing with that package, and I didn't really know anything about these bands. And after the show, all the bands kind of gravitated and started making jokes and fake hardcore dancing. And Timmy was really real lively. He's a character, and he was a character. And having that connection with Daniel Davidson and Norma Jean, because we were friends with them, we instantly became friends with Beloved. We instantly became friends with Underoath. It was almost like a bond or like a family type thing. Because it seemed like, hey, these bands take care of their own and they love their friends. And over this past summer, Daniel was like, hey, we're doing a farewell tour. You know how Daniel talks. So we're doing a farewell tour. And we were like, well, we're not doing anything. How do you think the guys would feel about taking us out? Because they've asked us to go out in the past. But it was like, would our fans mesh with their fans? Would their fans even appreciate what we're trying to do? So that's kind of how that came about. We asked to get on it, and it was a total friend thing. And like, yo, that's a great idea. Let's tour these dudes on their last tour, because they're all great people and we love them. And to me, that trumps music and that trumps anything. When you have a group of great guys or girls, and the vibe is just right. And you know there's not going to be any beef and no egos. So it just seemed like, yeah, let's go out on their final tour, send them off, you know? So that's how we got on this tour, basically.
Right now what they're doing is no different than what they did when they were writing new albums. You know, this is simply a culmination that they believe is appropriate, and they are the artists, and we have to respect that. And also we have to appreciate it because they've given us so much in the past. Like they're offering everyone an opportunity to kind of regale and remember like what it is that band did.